Welcome to Lore the Dunces.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web very high. I don't remember the rest of the song. Look out! Here comes the Spider-Man. All right.
Yeah. I'm not very enthusiastic about this episode.
I'm a bit low energy today myself.
Well, today we are gonna be for our Halloween special sort of thing.
Yay!
Nice.
We're gonna talk about the most horrifying thing, at least for those who watch the movies. Shelob, and we're not just tackling Shelob; we're tackling her mother.
Oh, why'd you have to post those pictures?
Don't worry, there's more.
Oh, wonderful.
Don't worry, Changhis. Next year we can just do a whole thing about Arkham Knight.
I'll take that. It can't be that bad.
It's pretty fucking bad.
All right. Well, if you can't, like I said, if you can't tell, I'm not enthusiastic about this topic, so why don't we just power through this?
Hey, Ninja, I vote for this to be an extra long episode.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to try to get the full hour. Standard length. We're not trying to make this short at all. So the first thing we have to deal with is Ungoliant, because she is, well, here's the thing. The first stuff we have to ask, what is Ungoliant?
What is that?
Oh, that's a picture somebody did of Ungoliant. So the thing is, we don't know what Ungoliant even is.
So we know what Shelob is, but we don't know what her mama is.
Yeah, exactly. So we know that she takes the form of a spider, and she is a being that was created even before the Earth was made.
Oh, I just thought of something Malzahn Changhis would like. There's a chick that can. There's a woman that can turn into an army of spiders.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
she's mostly played up for comedic relief.
All right.
Yeah. So the thing is, so the theories is that she's either a Maiar, so the angels, like the servant of the Thor angels, like something like Gandalf or
An angel
Sauron.
would take the form of a spider.
Yep. Who got corrupted by Melkor to join his rebellion. Another theory is that she is a creation. Okay, there. She's a creation by Melkor, because I haven't tell you about how Arda was made. Arda was made through song.
Okay.
So there was like a whole thing with a song where they did this first music of what's called the music of the Ainur, and they did this awesome concert, and then Melkor disrupted, trying to do his own thing, not going along, and people theorize that she was a creation as a result of that. The most popular theory is that she is just a being of darkness, much like Tom Bombadil is an ancient being that no one knows, but he's of the good nature.
Interesting.
So, but all we know is that she takes the form of the spider, and then when Melkor went to Arda, which is like Middle Earth, right? And does his thing. She went along with him, and she says,
I remember this from the Vile Eyes Melkor video.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
she hangs out with Melkor a bit, and then Melkor gets taken the first time back to Valinor. Then she goes, whatever. He was my forward boss. I'm just going to do my own thing. And then he comes back.
Oh.
And basically, because after some shenanigans with Feanor, remember the House of Feanor? So, the House of Failures.
House of Failure. Oh.
Failure.
Yeah, just have to remind people.
All right.
But anyway, so he goes back as part of his scheme. He goes to bring Ungoliant onto his evil scheme. And his scheme, because he wants the Cimmerals at this point. But also, he wants to plunge the world into darkness. And at this point, the whole world is light up by 2 trees. That's in Valinor. A silver tree that emulates... Oh no. Okay. So, a silver tree... Changhis, that emulates, like, moonlight.
Okay.
And then another tree that emulates sunlight.
Huh.
So that's how the world was lit up. So he brings Ungoliant, and using Ungoliant's special webs, called Unlight.
Huh.
And it's basically super darkness.
This is any darkness.
This is
advanced
darkness.
It is a powerful darkness that not even the other Valinor can see through it.
Fun.
So other gods, other people of Melkor's power level can't see crap.
Oh.
So with this darkness, they sneak up to the trees, right? And Melkor brings in...
Melkor can hear them from how much they're stumbling in the dark.
Well, the thing is that these trees are so bright. I bet that, like, with the description of these trees, they're just super light that you can't even see it through the darkness.
Ah.
By the way, since this is in Valinor, there are no guards. And everyone else was doing a celebration party. It was this celebration event. And
celebration time, come on!
Nothing bad ever happens during a celebration.
Oh.
Cuts to George R. R. Martin smiling in a quarter.
Yeah. Oh, look! Melkor stabbed the trees with the spear, leaking out their light, so Ungoliant gets a nice meal out of the tree saps. And plunged the entire world into darkness.
Good job.
Why like this?
You guys really...
I just want to be a dick.
Yeah, exactly. And then Melkor, to just add insult to injury, does his whole raid against Finwë, kills them, and takes the Cimmerals of Feanor's kingdom.
Wow.
And he goes, ha ha ha! And then he stole a whole bunch of jewelry, by the way. So he got a whole bunch of jewelry in one hand and the Cimmerals on the other, and then have Ungoliant spray her webs of darkness to cover their escape, and they're kind of cackling.
If I can't control light, then nobody
can.
Except for these Cimmerals. They're nice and bright and shiny. So they kind of get away, and they accomplish their mission. So Melkor promised to give Ungoliant everything, all the loot that they stole.
Let me guess, he backstabs her?
He basically said, here's all the other jewels that we have. I keep the Cimmerals. What problem?
Oh.
The Cimmerals were created from the light of the trees, which is one of the reasons that caused Feanor. So
wait. Does it burn them?
Not at this point.
Oh.
No, I think it does burn him. It does burn him, but he's still holding on to it.
I'm just imagining Melkor and Ungoliant and a whole bunch of their cronies playing hot potatoes with the Silmarils.
I wish that would be there, but no, it's just the two of them. And they got away from the gods. The gods tried to shade them, but Ungoliant's darkness kind of covered their escape. But Ungoliant is like, give me the Silmarils. I want it. It's the only thing that can satisfy my hunger, because at this point, she tasted the full light. She wants more. She has the gluttony to want more and more light.
Oh, so she's a crack addict.
Yeah, she became a crack addict.
I see. Well, that's going to turn out well.
Yeah, and Malcor goes, no. And Ungoliant goes, okay, fine, and uses her bigger power level, thanks to sucking all the trees, to spray her unlight webs around him, trying to wrap him up. And I can't remember the region, but he basically screamed out loud.
Oh.
Like, in terror. This is like the first time that Malcor is actually afraid.
What a wuss.
Yeah, like, I gotta admit, there's a reason why I like Sauron better than Melkor. Melkor, like, I'm sorry.
He sounds kind of like a bitch.
Yeah, he does.
Melkor is just a bitch with a higher power level. Yeah, we're gonna cover Melkor at some point, or Morgoth, and
reminds me of some Wheel of Time characters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, anyway, so he is such a bitch and screams so loud that he needed to get help. So, guess who is up to his rescue?
Oh, do tell.
The Balrogs!
Oh!
It's Balrogs! Yeah! And because of their awesome flame powers, you know, they're Balrogs.
Mm-hmm.
They scared Ungoliant to light, so she's like, "Ah, Balrogs!" And so
I'm imagining a giant spider just webbing up a giant roll of newspaper and trying to hit the Balrogs.
And it just incinerates.
Tries to put a giant cup on one of the Balrogs.
Tries to spray it with her dark red web, and then it just bursts into life because they're flipping on always on fire.
Amazing.
Yeah, Balrogs are awesome.
You told me to kill her. I want that filthy
No,
fuck
she
dead.
flees.
Oh, damn it. I want that
Because
filthy
she hasn't made Shelob yet. So she flees to this region called Ered Gorgoroth.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. We watched Matchstick.
Oh.
Matchstick is down.
Matchstick!
But anyway, so Ered Gorgoroth. And but they have the most common name called the Mountains of Terror. So if you I did post a map of one map of it.
Okay.
So it's this long region, and this is in this area and the valley right next to it. Is just to give you a bigger region, okay?
All right.
The Valley of Death is also called Non-Dungortheb. And if you look there, if you look at the map, if you look at the south, that's Doriath, where like basically where Luthien lives. From the Luthien. And then to the west, you see that big circle with one place called Gondolin. That's like Gondolin is one of the most important cities in the First Age. Like, we're definitely going to do a history of Gondolin at some point.
All right.
Super big deal. And this is when she made... this is when she started... This is when she started breeding with the locals. Local big, giant, monstrous spiders.
Oh.
But one thing, she did it through the Black Widow method.
Oh.
Yeah, they became her meals as well. And this is when she made Shelob and a whole bunch of her children. And they infested this area. So much so that almost no one went through that area.
Oh.
No one was going to walk through that area willingly. And very few people who even walk through it ever make out. There were 2 cases. I can't remember one of them. It's related to a royalty in Gondolin. But then the other one, the most famous one, is Baron.
Oh.
Remember our boy Baron from the first episode of Lord of the Dunces?
No.
Like, he went... so this is right before he met Luthien. He went through this region...
All right.
Because he was fleeing Sauron's forces. Morgoth through Sauron. And the description is, there's no description of what he did there. It just described him going through it, and that he refused to remember it because of the horrors that he had to go through.
Huh. All right.
And then Ungoliant, afterwards, fled down south away from there. And this is literally, in direct quote, of the faith of Ungoliant, no tales tell, yet some have said that she ended long ago, when in her utmost famine, she devoured herself at last. Like Pizza the Hut.
Pizza.
Because and the reason she devoured herself, she wanted that light.
Ah.
And now we're going on to her wonderful child.
There we go.
Shelob the Great. Look at that magnificent beauty. Her disgusting eye. There's some game developers, a monolith, looked at that and thought, I'll make that into a sexy waifu.
By completely ignoring all the spider parts.
Yeah. So anyway, Shelob spent time, moved to what she is well known. So Gareth Ongol and Minas Morgul, like people. I couldn't find a good map of showing her in terms of the map or Middle Earth. It's like right across this mountain range is literally right across Minas Tirith. And this is actually a nice map of the lair as well. So she sets up shop there, and she and Sauron's were on a unspoken buddy relationship.
Okay.
So when Sauron founded this place in Mordor, he finds out about her, and when he finds out, he goes, "Great, this is fantastic. I can just spare a few orcs her way, along with any prisoners. Just send her way, and then she'll just guard this pass for me." And so, and that was the arrangement. And then when Sauron was defeated and the area was populated by men and elves, guess what she was doing?
She started eating them.
Yeah, eating anyone who just came across her path. Because, unlike her mother, she was a glutton, but only for flesh. Actual flesh.
She's fat.
Yeah, she became fat.
All right.
And And then one of the times, Gollum went through the pit.
Oh.
Alone.
Weasel.
Yeah, and he didn't get eaten because he promised more food, which he did, enough to get a nickname by the orcs called Shelob's Sneak.
Oh.
And then after the arrangement for a bit, Gollum went on his way, and Shelob just did her normal thing, and then about like sometime later, Gollum returned. Well, also, meanwhile, she gave birth to spiders who went up to live in Mirkwood.
Oh, those things for the Hobbit movie are her fucking children?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. By the way, guess why Tolkien created spiders?
Do tell.
So there was a rumor that it was because he was bitten by a tarantula.
Okay.
That is not true, apparently. It was because his son was scared of him.
Oh.
Hey, it is gonna bother his son with him.
I don't know which son. He had 3. I'm gonna assume it's Christopher Tolkien because it's the most hilarious.
So he just did. So he made Shelob to mess with his own child.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's kind of funny, actually. Just son, I just created a new villain for my story. Oh, cool, Dad. What is it? It's a spider. Son, where'd you go?
Well, here's the thing. He created Shelob after The Hobbit. It's more of like, hey, son, remember your favorite chapter when our heroes went through Mirkwood?
Or we're gonna meet their mother now, and it's a giant spider.
Yes. So yes, and by the way, Shelob gave birth to these children through the same process as her mother. Just more things, and she probably ate her own siblings too, because why not?
Wow.
Well, anyway, Gollum came back and brought 2 hobbits.
Oh, here we go.
So I will specify. So in the movie, you know how in the movie it was just Frodo.
Yeah.
That was a movie thing.
Oh, Sam didn't turn back?
No, there was none of that. And technically, this instance took at the end of the 2 towers. Like half of the stuff in Return of the King, in terms of Sam and Frodo, was actually part of the 2 Towers book. Just the way the books were constructed, but that's a topic for another day.
All right.
But Sam and Frodo were walking through this, very obviously not creepy cave.
It's perfectly fine. It's safe. Look, Frodo, it's safe to go in.
Yeah, that was Gollum. And then, on their way, Shelob attacks them.
Of course.
And Gollum splits.
Mm.
And so they dodged Shelob the first time, and they just went like booking. Wah! Booking through the entire spider. Entire layer.
Mm.
And then only like preventing her with like, the vial and stuff. And then Sam was tackled by Gollum, and Shelob. This is when Shelob, when they're at the entrance, poisoned Frodo, putting him unconscious and webbing him up. Sam gets rid of Gollum, and this is their fight now. So, the book does not specify that she had a stinger in her tail. stinger on her butt.
Was that a movie thing?
This is an art by John Howe. I think it's just more of like an interpretation, adaptation thing. It's like, she stuns him, like, and also the location was actually at the neck. So I think the idea that Tolkien had was he was bitten.
Oh.
Or like stung with like one of her limbs. You know, creative license, they kind of put a stinger on there and have him stub in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so, and webs are up, and Sam fights Shelob. And during the fight, Shelob tried to smother him by actually laying on top of him.
Oh.
During the whole fight. But the thing is, Sam, so Shelob accidentally impaled herself. After, yeah. So Sam sliced her in the eye, got a good slice in her eye, because that's like her weakest point in her body.
All right.
But then, like, she knocks him away and on the ground, so she was gonna pounce on top of him. And you know, he's a hobbit, she's a big honking spider, and she was gonna smother him.
Mm-hmm.
One problem: his sword. She didn't look at the angle that his sword was at. So it was in the perfect angle for it to pierce into Shelob. And so she gets away, and she's like gonna go for round 2, even though she's severely wounded. And this is when Sam pulls out the File of Galadriel to finally get one bright light on her, because as opposed to her mother, who would eat that light. She is actually weak to it. So she fades back into her cave, and then you have the whole thing where Sam thought Frodo was dead. He takes the ring and was like going on her own a bit, but then he finds out from like orcs that he's not dead. The whole spiel.
Okay.
And then we don't know the fate of Shelob.
Oh. Just after the story ends, just we don't know what happened to her?
Yep, pretty much.
Oh.
Hey, Changhis, she's probably still alive and eating stuff.
Yeah, either she is still alive and eats stuff, or she died from the wounds. From fighting Sam, which would add irony, is that the greatest evil that like no other hero has done, one of the greatest evil was defeated by a hobbit.
Hey, this is Sam. Sister. He ain't no horny hobbit. He's a fucking Chad.
Yeah, Sam's amazing.
Yeah,
we should do an episode on just Sam alone. He's great.
Wait until I finish the Return of the King.
Oh yeah,
at least.
Like, all right.
But anyway, so that is actually all the material.
Oh,
yeah, like so there is some other horror elements that he did, but I didn't do research. Like, of course, the main focus is on Ungoliant and Shelob. Like. And like this is definitely going to be the shortest, because there's very little information. It's not like Morgoth, like himself, or Sauron, right? Sauron, you could do a whole I could probably do another episode on Sauron.
Not in an episode, but like a few episodes.
Like a couple, because we could just go into more deeper topics about Sauron and some more speculative territory with him. But like Shelob and Ungoliant is the one that has the most interesting lore, because of her. She's like a bit player during major events in Middle Earth. That helped shape the First Age as we know it. And while Shelob is like this almost side adventure, but it is the catalyst for important character stuff.
Ah. Okay. Question: If you know how in the Hobbit when Bilbo puts on the ring, he could hear the spiders talk. So
Yeah. So
if Frodo, if without the if Sauron wasn't constantly looking for Frodo, if he put on the ring, would he also be able to understand Shelob?
The book doesn't specify that it was only a work with spiders thing.
Huh.
It could also be a side effect of the books, right? Because The Hobbit was written first, and it was written for more of a lighter tone, something to read to your child on the bed, as opposed to Lord of the Rings,
grand epic that is Lord of the Rings.
Right. And also in universe, the narrator of The Hobbit is Bilbo.
Right.
So like that's the conceit. And that's that explaining why you have like a bunch of asides. So it could be a way of be explained that Bilbo was talking to the children and trying to bunch of Hobbit children, like him constantly telling about his adventures. And so thus adding stuff like having trolls talk. And because trolls were part of Lord of the Rings, they didn't talk, as far as I know.
They have a cave troll.
Right. And so it's just more of the tone of the story, so it allows for more talking spiders as opposed to them being vicious monsters.
Okay.
And
it was just something on my mind because I remember The Hobbit. He was able to, at least in what was written, he when he put on the ring, he could understand and the spiders. So I thought, and when you mentioned that apparently those abominations are Shelob's children, I assume could it be like the same thing? If minus Sauron, Frodo could then put on the ring and understand Shelob.
I have to reread the books to understand if that is the mechanic. If so, there is a possibility. Like it seems like she could clearly understand speech by Gollum. Like Gollum making the deal with her. So, and like she is wicked ancient. And it's only like one step away from Ungoliant. So there is a possibility. But the thing is that she was the only difference is that she is not like the Shadow of War games, where she can make into a human form. She is just a spider. Pure spider.
Okay.
All right, I thought, but what is she like? I think they could get away with it in lore if she makes like a marionette doll out of webs.
Yeah, it could be, but doesn't seem the type to play with her food.
Just go for the throat and just chug, 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 chug.
More of like she's like a predator. Where she waits a bit for the perfect time to strike her prey, and then she uses her sting to, paralyze them completely, and then eats them fresh.
Supposed to given his kid nightmares when Tolkien's kids nightmares.
Yeah. Yeah, like
I'm just imagining Tolkien going like, oh yeah, and this spider's gonna have a giant tail that's gonna when it pierces you, you're gonna be paralyzed. Oh, this is gonna fuck with my kid.
It depends on the age of the kid, because the Hobbit was when was the Hobbit published? Because I think it was like during World War II.
Huh.
Let me just check.
Hobbit was Hobbit. I think Hobbit was between World War I and World War II.
Oh yeah, 1937 is The Hobbit, and then Lord of the Rings was
first
54.
54.
Yeah, so 17 years after The Hobbit.
So you got a book before and after World War II.
Yeah, and though Tolkien did not take part in World War II, like directly,
I know. I remember reading somewhere the Lord of the Rings is inspired by his experiences from the First World War, at least.
Yes. Yeah, you see a lot in Mordor imagery, and like that's actually another topic, like inspirations from Tolkien, like what inspired Tolkien to make in his version of Middle Earth, because some of his stuff was actually written during the trenches.
Really?
Yeah, mostly poetry stuff.
Oh, but still, though, he was writing.
Tolkien, warrior poet.
Trenches. Dang. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's outside of our current topic, but yeah, there is a lot of things that were inspired by. So yeah, that's it. Actually, you're lucky, Changhis. This was short. And so,
well, we had to make up for mine, which was like an hour and a half.
Don't worry. Next month is going to be even longer.
I thought it was Changhis' turn.
Yes, I know. I did request a Pacific lore. We're bringing in a guest.
Oh, it's Nick.
Yes, we're talking about Archie Sonic.
Oh no!
I will. Changhis and Nick.
You son of a bitch! What have you done?
Don't worry.
I do request that maybe you pick a specific topic from Archie Sonic, which isn't saying much because if you just pick one aspect,
I'm gonna be here for a while.
Yes, exactly. So
talking about some of the weirdest fucking shit on the internet.
Remember when Changhis talked about Shockwave? Yeah. We're gonna be here for a long time.
I mean, Nick goes on about him without any. This time it's gonna be all prepared with notes and cues and shit like that. Well, PowerPoint presentation or something.
Hey, luckily you'll get to end the year with your topic matchstick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, to all our audience, get ready for next month to celebrate Sonic Fontiers, and also to hype up for Sonic Prime, which is funny enough, are kind of inspired by Archie Sonic in a way. We'll be talking about something Archie Sonic related. Have a great Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween! Woo!